Welcome into our next leg in our race around the world here at the Pit Stop Pals, part of the Reality Realm Network. My name is Kevin Oliver,
My name is Bruce Heller.
and we are here for episode 6, season 1, The Amazing Race, our rewatch. Whatever it takes to win is the title of the episode. Bruce, do you have any quotes for me from Whatever It Takes to Win?
I do, but I'll say this also. This was a fun episode for me because it was very travel heavy, and I love the airports and trains and figuring out all the travel arrangement scenes. So we got a lot of that this week. That was fun for me. But
Yeah.
we have Kevin slash Drew in the airport saying, "Better be careful if you don't want your legs to be broken." Just saying. We have we don't give away that we know French, but we do, which there's no way those two know French. I'm sorry. I love Kevin and Drew. I don't believe they know French. I have Bill and Joe saying we're focused on the race and they're focused on us. Why are they doing that? Like they don't know exactly what everyone's focused on them. And
I missed that totally. You froze and I
um
didn't hear anything for like 15 seconds.
okay, we'll restart because my voice is just that great to listen to. Um, I have Kevin slash
No,
Drew.
no, no, no. I heard that one. I didn't hear the last quote.
Oh, it's Bill and Joe saying we're focused on the race and they're focused on us. Why is everyone doing that? And you know exactly why. I said last week, or for last week's episode, that
Yeah.
everyone's upset with Bill and Joe, and other than being bougie and acting better than everyone, they haven't really done anything to earn
That
that.
this week changed that.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, they're in, I hate them this week. This episode is why I came into the season. I had forgotten a little bit about this, but that they do something and then the way they even lie not to their other teammates. They lie about it in their confessionals. Like there's no reason to lie in the confessionals. We saw what we know you're we'll get into them, but that was one of my quotes because you
Yeah.
know why they're doing that. You know why they're focusing on you. Shut up. It's
I'm
funny
with
that
you.
right after I come out and say though that they're not actually that bad, this episode happens.
Uh-huh.
I have at the finish line. I came over in my sports car. Meow. And in my notes, I just put little stars and said insert race car noise. I didn't actually try to spell meow.
Oh man, you should have. That would have been great.
And then I have, because we got this weird editing choice I'm not used to with this show where after the last team finishes, we get a bunch of confessionals afterwards. And we have Emily talking about Bill and Joe saying they're the oldest people left. And her own partner is older than them, I'm pretty sure. So that made me laugh.
Right.
And then that's it. I had more quotes than last week. I only had two last week.
Yeah, good job. We're just gonna stand here and watch what happens. That was Bill. It's like this little good luck fairy follows them wherever they go. That was from Nancy about Bill and Joe. Is that enough graffiti for you? I almost feel at home. That was Karen and Lenny, not Kenny and Laren. Um, we got well, like you said, we're focused on the race. They're focused on us. We got another name for Bill and Joe. It's Siegfried and Roy.
Who are magicians in Vegas, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, that was Frank that said that.
One of them got attacked by a tiger during a show one time.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I can ride my bike faster than those, or faster than this. That was Frank talking about the little car he had to drive.
Fair.
My quotes. And so,
Uh-oh.
with Sand during the period Sahara will not be departing from there rather near
Hmm. There he is.
and their clue
Hold
tells them
on.
to go to the palace. What?
You froze and were in and out. So just to recap, because my feed is what the audience sees. We had a sandstorm. We're not leaving from the desert oasis. We got evacuated from there. And now start with what you were saying about the clue, because that's the part that we missed.
I didn't finish it.
No, I meant I recapped the part that we missed. So pick up where I stopped you at.
Oh, so you didn't get any of what I said?
No, I said hold on when you started moving again. And your audio was in and out the whole time.
Huh. Okay.
But sandstorm happened. We get evacuated. We're not leaving from the oasis we stopped at. Basic
Yeah.
recap.
So the clue says to go to the Palace Hotel in Tunis, 300 miles away, and you must find your own transport to do so.
Yeah, and the problem is our first teams get there in the middle of the night, so no cabs are available.
Correct. And then once you get there, the 300-mile trip, you find out we're going to have to travel from Tunis to Rome and find the spot marked in this picture, and it's a picture of the Colosseum.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to the airport, and Guido's get the last ticket on the first flight that's fully booked. Um, but the thing was, Kevin and Drew charmed their way into a flight for themselves, Nancy and Emily and Robin Brennan, that
Arrives like
was
3 hours before Bill and Joe.
yeah, it was supposed to be a lot better. And in response to the lady helping them out, Drew gave the airport counter girl a necklace.
And a necklace he had bought for his girlfriend in Tunisia, which I didn't realize you could buy souvenirs while you were racing. That's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, you got a certain amount of money, and you can do what you want with it.
True. Like Bill and Joe with all their bougie dinners we saw. So,
Yeah, or like tea. What's the difference between tea and a necklace?
true.
Um, Anyway, Frank and Margarita get a flight to London.
Yeah, I one of my notes here is did Frank and Margarita have a plan or were they just kind of figuring it out? Because they're like, hey, let's go to London. We should be able to get a flight when we get there. And then they can't, so they just decide to fly to Geneva. Like, did
Yeah.
they have a plan or were they just kind of doing it as
So
they went?
their plan was get out of this airport because these people are on strike and this airport is not trustworthy.
Okay.
That's why they flew to London. Um, and Guidos are being stupid because they pushed Nancy.
Yeah, so they see everyone like those two groups moving towards the gate. By the way, no, they don't have tickets for that gate, and they're like slowly making sure they get to the line before the other teams, and then stand there and try to get on, pretending they have tickets, arguing with the ticket counter, so the other three teams miss it.
Mhm.
And when teams try to get past them, like I said, they push Nancy out of the way. So, and
Yeah, and then
oh,
they admitted that they lied like later on, like because Lenny and Karen wanted to hear the both sides of the story, and
right. Oh yeah, surely they know the truth is somewhere in the middle.
yeah,
Shut up.
yeah. Lenny and Karen, they waited and they got a direct flight to Rome. They got them there first. Back to the Robin Brennan, Kevin and Drew and Nancy and Emily flight. They made their first connection got and then
Well, he froze. That's not. What is up with that?
on
Hmm.
my end.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
You froze on my end.
I don't know what's happening. I don't usually have this problem.
Me either.
Huh.
So did you not get any of what I said again?
They got their plane was the last thing I heard you said.
Um, so you didn't hear me talk about the connecting flight getting canceled?
No.
Wait,
But
who
yeah.
got a plane that you heard?
What?
Who whose plane did you hear me
You had
talk about?
said switching over to the Nancy, Emily, Kevin, Drew, Rob Brennan group. They get their plane, and then
Oh, yeah, but then at the connection, it got canceled.
it did. Which,
So they had to get on a train to Milan and then try to get from Milan to Rome.
well, they fly to Milan and
Oh,
then
I'm
train from
sorry. And
Milan to
then get
Rome.
a train from Milan to Rome.
Yeah.
My bad.
I
Um,
love how I'm mad at Bill and Joe already at this point, but I love how travel heavy this episode is.
mm, mm,
We spend lots of time in the airport. We get a train. Frank
yeah.
and Margarita are like spending the night at the Geneva airport.
Yep, because they flew from London to Geneva to get closer, and they'll get on the first flight from Geneva to Rome in the morning. But
Yeah.
once you get to Rome, to that spot, it's detour time, and the detours are foot or hoof. Do you want to explain?
Yeah. So you find a statue of a foot at this place using a provided picture where you find the next clue, or you're given a partial picture of a more obscure statue that depicts the hoof of a horse, and once they complete the task, they find a line of taxis waiting for them.
What do you think we choose?
Either one, it's kind of the same thing. Hey, find the statue in this picture.
Right, but is it worth trying to find the more obscure statue to get the taxis?
Maybe.
Well, most people thought so. The only team that did foot was Lenny and Karen. Everybody else did hoof. And
Waiting
once
for
you,
Hoof to open was kind of an equalizer, honestly. We spent all this time in the airport, and now we're just all in the same place waiting for the gate to come down in front of the Hoof statue.
which is why Lenny and Karen went to the foot.
Yeah, well, that didn't work.
I mean, I would argue that it did work. I feel like later on was where their troubles happened.
True.
Because they got to foot before anybody, and they got on a decent train because everybody has to travel by train to the town of Caso Franche Amelia or something.
Yeah. We've been a bit critical of the editing and the audio this season. When we're waiting for Hoof to open and Bill and Joe are walking down the sidewalk and we get this like sharky, like Jaws type of music, that's fantastic. Like, I don't even know how to describe it other than it felt like Jaws, but we got this like ominous music as they were walking up to the statue, which was fantastic.
Right.
But yeah, the clue tells you to travel by train. So
Yes.
naturally, Bill and Joe and Frank and Margarita travel by taxi.
Well, they traveled by train first, but there was connecting trains, and at that point they traveled by taxi.
Yeah.
Here's where Lenny and Karen got messed up because of a production interference.
2 episodes in a row that a production error has.
Lenny and Karen missed their train and had to take the next one. Will receive a time credit at the end for that.
Yeah. Uh oh. What is up with the internet? I don't know what's happening. Well, yes, as he was saying, while we wait for him, I'll recap. Lenny and Karen, they missed their.
Hello?
Hey, you're there. Cool.
You froze.
I don't know what's happening. My internet says it's working.
So does mine. I don't know what's happening. Where did I freeze at?
Time credit.
Lenny and Karen's time credit. Okay. I was talking about how in my notes I had written that I feel like the only reason they tell us this now versus at the end is because it's going to impact the results. Obviously, we know that it doesn't impact the results, but that was my guess at the time.
Yeah,
I was also curious if they would get penalized for taking the taxi. That gets addressed at the end.
yeah,
Um, but once the teams that actually did what they're supposed to, Robin, Brennan, Kevin and Drew, Emily and Nancy get off their train. They find two taxis, but there's three of them. And so Emily and Nancy tell the two guy groups to go ahead and to send one of the taxis back for them. And so that's what they do. And Nancy kind of tells us that she's kind of done with this. She's losing the fight.
yeah.
Anyway, once you get to where you're supposed to go by taxi, it's roadblock time. Do you want to explain the roadblock that is written as for someone who likes to take things slowly?
Yeah, so you drive a smart car to the sound square of Santa Agata Bolognese, and you're using a map that's written entirely in Italian, and the
Yes.
other person gets driven to the same town square in a sports car that travels at 180 miles per hour. So
Yeah, so the people,
have fun
what?
driving, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm fine. The people who drove the smart cars were Frank, Joe, Rob, Drew, Nancy, and Karen.
Frank was
Um,
brilliant, by the way, and didn't
yes,
even
he
fool
hired
with
his
the
taxi
map. Just
driver.
said, "Hey, taxi driver, I'll pay you to drive there so I can follow you."
Yes, that was my next note. Smart in all caps because
So
Frank hired
good.
his taxi driver to follow. And that placed them as team number one. Frank and Margarita won this leg.
Yes.
Um, Guido's finished second, and a lot of people get lost. Rob got lost. Drew got lost, but Rob got directions. Drew got some lady on a bike to lead her or lead him. So Rob and Brennan finishes team number three. Kevin and Drew is team number four. Nancy is team number five, and I'm starting to get curious if there'll be an NEL because of the whole Lenny and Karen uh, time credit disaster. Um, Karen found somebody to lead her as well. They've come in as team number six, but Phil introduces that there are three NELs in this race, and this is the first one, and so they're safe.
First ever NEL in show history.
Yes, and then we hear Phil's voice tell us that Lenny and Karen will get to leave before their 12 hours is up because of their time credit, but Frank and Margarita and Guido's will have a time penalty for using the tackies.
Yeah.
And all this Guido drama is crazy, I gotta say.
We got so many like confessionals of them defending themselves, lying in confessionals, defending themselves, and everyone else not liking them. And this, we got so much after the last team finishes content, and I'm used to the last team finishing being the last thing I see. So
Yep.
this was a bit of a fun editing choice. Oh man, again. Good thing we're almost done. Come on. But yeah, I'll keep talking then. So this was a really, like I said, fun editing choice at the end. We got all these confessionals. We're ramping up the drama going into next week. And this was just a really fun episode for me. I like the challenges. I like all the airport stuff. And he's back.
It kicked me out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, like it fully kicked you out of the chat?
Yeah.
Because your screen just froze on my end. So maybe it's
I
not
got
my
kicked
internet.
out.
Okay. That makes me feel better. But no, I don't know if you had said anything else. Like you froze on my end at I love the editing choice of all these like ramping up the drama post finish confessionals.
Yeah.
The editing's getting better each week. They're figuring out what they're doing.
Thank God. All right, you ready to get into power rankings?
Yeah,
All right, who you got at six?
it's got to be Lenny and Karen.
I would agree.
They were six for me last week, and then they finished last this week.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
yes, they missed a train. I'm not convinced they wouldn't have been last anyway, just with how things tend to go for them.
up to that point they were in first though.
Yeah, but they could have found a way to fumble it. We've seen them do that.
Fair enough.
Maybe not last, but they I don't think they would have kept their lead.
I don't think so either, but I don't know that they would have finished last. Who do you have in fifth?
Fifth, man, this the finish order really jumbled me up this week. And I can't believe I'm doing this because of where they finished, but I'm going with Frank and Margarita here. They
The
won the leg,
winners.
but they got ahead of everyone taking a taxi when they weren't supposed to, when everyone else was taking a train. They finished second to last week, and they have a time penalty to start next week. So
But
I'm not going to take the win at face value. There's too
Bruce,
many
the time
contributing factors.
penalties, did you not hear Phil? Even with Frank and Margarita and Guido's time penalties, they're still leaving in first and second.
Either way, I'm not taking this win at face value. There's the other things I said are still true. They still benefited from, hey, we're in a faster taxi cab while everyone else is on a train.
And they got penalized for that. I
No, I know,
imagine
but that's why they finished first.
I
I'm just not taking the win at the normal face value I normally would. I still think there's better teams than them.
that's fair. I don't have them at fifth, but I have them at I'll tell you when I get there. I have Nancy and Emily at fifth. I'm sorry. I don't think Nancy and Emily are a better team than Frank and Margarita.
I have them at four, and I, I don't know what to do with Nancy and Emily. Every time I think, when I finally thought they were a lower pack team, they had two or three great finishes in a row, to where I finally started believing them, and now they finished fifth out of six. Like, I don't know what, I can't figure them out. I have them
Well,
at four, but
they finished fifth because they let the other two teams get taxis before them.
yeah, I can't figure out what to do with their finishes. Every
And
time,
I put Frank and Margarita here.
okay, so we just had these two teams reversed, is all.
Yeah,
So yeah, this is the lowest I've ever put a team after they won a leg. I just don't fully buy into it with everything surrounding it.
that's fine. That's fair. Who do you have at third?
At third is Robin Brennan. They're
Me too.
they're solid. I enjoy watching them, but they're also like they're consistent around this third, fourth
Yeah, they are.
where they finish every time. Uh oh. Yeah, Rob and Brendan are my third. They've been good. They're consistently third, fourth. Maybe there was a second, I don't remember. They're consistent. And so, excited to see what they do going forward for sure. There he is.
It kicked me out again.
I don't know what's happening, but we're almost done. I was telling the audience I have Rob and Brendan at three. This kind of 2, 3, 4 ranges where they've consistently been the whole time. They
Yeah, you said that
oh,
before I left, but before I got kicked.
I didn't know.
I hope you didn't sit here in silence while I was coming back in.
No, I was kind of just recapping Rob and Brendan a little bit. Why
Oh,
I
okay.
had them there.
Yeah, I also have Robin Brennan at three. I think that uh they're really good even when they get down, they keep being able to climb back up. So I really like their spot.
this pains me after how this episode went. I have Kevin and Drew at 2,
Me too.
which means that, like, as much as I've complained about Bill and Joe this episode and that they're insufferable and they play the victim so much in their confessionals, even though
They're
they
still the
know
best
exactly
team.
what they did, they're still the best team game wise, and I hate that.
Yeah, they're still the best team. You can't deny it.
But what I said last week of they haven't really done much to deserve everyone hating them the way they do is completely gone
It's
after
completely,
that
yeah.
airport
This
stuff.
one was terrible. How dare they just push Nancy around? Not okay.
And just stand at a ticket line for a plane you know you don't have tickets to. I just don't like that either. Just causing everyone to miss their flights.
See, I really don't care that much about that. I mean, that would frustrate me as the race runner, but
You know, the
I
pushing
mean,
Nancy is obviously worse. I just don't like the whole concept of it. And I don't like anything they did there.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like, it's the game.
Yeah,
Anything's, anything's
it's
up.
fair game. I just don't like it.
Fair enough. You have anything else to add about this episode?
No,
All right, make sure that you are checking out all of our Reality Realm stuff. Tribal Council chat pushing along. We've also got New Generation Challenge podcast coming back sometime this summer. BB Brains hopefully coming back sometime this summer. Roundtable Talk should be pushing out some new stuff before long. Um, Make sure to check out all of our social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Find us where you like us where you find us. And the world's waiting for you. Good luck.
travel safe.
Go!
Go.